Wholeness. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Notes of Naja Rashida. I am Naja Rashida. And I just wanted to make a little Thanksgiving special with for my handy dandy notebook. So we have, what is it you already have that you are currently blind to? So, yes, I am American and born and raised in many different areas, but I will say that often, when it comes to holidays or holy days in the Western world, in the Western Empire, as I like to call it, holy days has become less holy, and it has become more commercial, more business focused, monetary, commercialized. The very emphasis of family and community has kind of gone down the drain. I've seen this throughout the 30 plus years of my life as a child, throughout my upbringing and adulthood, and I also see it on a much wider scale when it comes to growing up in American culture. Thanksgiving can mean many different things to many different people. And I will have to say, especially after teaching several indigenous Americans, so when I lived in Arizona and I taught fourth grade, many of my students lived or came from reservations, okay? We call them Indian or Native American or indigenous. I go between Native American or indigenous tribe or indigenous Americans. But I say that to say this: I will take away the beauty of what Thanksgiving is and what it represents. It's taken something very, very ugly, historical, horrible events and made it, and so I try to look at it on a positive perspective and less on the negative historical sense. I, for a time, kind of boycotted Thanksgiving. Why? Because many people kind of just didn't, most modern day Americans don't really want to look or have to remind themselves of what was lost, what was conquered, right? So Thanksgiving to the typical American is going to look very different to someone who is indigenous, an indigenous American or from an indigenous tribe. So I'm very mindful of that. I do my best to not take part in Black Friday. So the point of this video is, what is it you already have that you currently are blind to? And a lot of the time, and what's so sad is that they, with the business economic setup, right? This is the best time to be an entrepreneur. It's the best time to sell products, right? It's like, oh, I need to go out. It's all about externalization, right? I say that a lot in my videos. Oh, I need to go out and I need to go buy gifts. Oh, this store is having a 50 or 60% off. I'm going to go buy over here. I'm going to go buy over there and buy over there. And it's like, it's almost like, when we externalize so much of ourselves, we devalue what we already have. We're completely we fall into this space of illusion when it comes to materialism, when it comes to consumerism. I'm actively going through every single physical item in my home right now, which I've shared with you about my minimalism practice. And it amazes me when I look at an object that I'm holding in my hand, the impulsivity that I've had in the past probably year or so after a separation from a partner. And I look at the object, like, what was my state of mind? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? And one thing that I am beginning to ask myself isn't that, oh, I don't have enough, or do I have enough money, or does this fit in my budget? It's like, can I live without this item? Can I live without this object? And so taking a look at what you could possibly be blind of meaning just not being able to see because you're so caught up in the externalization of life and being pulled left and right, right and left, up and down, in all so many different directions. That is very destabilizing, you know, and a lot of it, for me, Thanksgiving has become kind of a burden and kind of an obligation to connect with people that you don't see very often if you don't already have a connection established. It's actually quite sad. But giving thanks is something that's very different than Thanksgiving. It's you're giving thanks to the things that you have that sustain you, that give you life, that bring joy to you. You're giving thanks to the people that you break bread with. You're giving thanks to the places where you work and the environments that you work. You're giving thanks to the ability to put gas in your car. You're giving thanks for the ability to drive a car. You're giving thanks for your health. What is a holiday or holy day without perfect health? And when I say perfect health, I mean you're able to get out of bed and go to bed without immense effort and a problem, right? And I'm not dismissing psychological or mental illnesses or mental disorders, not in the least. That's all included with what I'm saying. If you can get out of bed with some level of contentment and gratitude, that is the biggest gift anyone could be thankful for. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do bedside care with my patients who were very ill, or who are dying, or who died, right? And like my father has always said, there's a birthday that you don't make, there's a birthday or a holiday you will never see. And so it's like giving thanks and gratitude and being able to break bread is a really great is a great opportunity to just self-reflect. It shouldn't really be this going out and buy. Let me get Christmas gifts. It's so commercial. It's a lot like Thanksgiving and Christmas has lost the spiritual essence of it, right? And I'm not even speaking from a Christian perspective. I wasn't raised as a Christian, but I've been exposed to the Christian world and the Christian value, and I just don't find it aligns how these holidays, holy days, currently are in alignment of any of Christian values at all. Hey, here's a Bible for 50% off. Like, what? Are you kidding me? What's so spiritual and holy about that? You know what I'm saying? And yes, people have to make a living. There needs to be commerce. There needs to be economy. But the balance is completely off. But it's great for that it's happening this way and that's being revealed to me in this way, and I can see it. I can see the truth beyond the price tag, right? And so yeah, it's all about giving thanks to what you may be blind to, like, you know, the things that you take for granted. And giving thanks should be every day. I have a daily practice where during my morning ritual, because we all have morning rituals, whether that's the first thing you do out of bed is you go and grab your coffee or hot tea and you drink it and you just sit and you ponder for 5-10 minutes before heading out the door or jumping in the shower. Well, for me, it's spiritual, and I have to do this every single day at the beginning of every day, or the day is weird. It's not vibing. So what I do is I get up, part of my practice, in my writing practice, I write down my, desires and manifestations, blah, blah, blah. And then the most importantly, I write 10 things that I feel so happy and grateful for. I do this every single day, giving thanks every single day. I feel so happy and grateful, or I feel so happy and grateful now that. And so it's just, I don't know, like when it comes to holidays, holy days, a holy day is every day for me. Like that's why I just, and maybe also I don't get so caught up with the holidays, holy days, is because as a young musician, all we did was prepare and practice for like 4 or 5 months straight for the Christmas concerts. So now at 36 years old, I can't even bring myself to try to play or sing Silent Night or Jingle Bells, you know, or Oh Holy Night. It's pretty when I hear a really good version of it. I can vibe with it, but if you're a fellow musician, okay, you understand what I'm saying. And I did orchestra, symphony orchestra, chamber singers, chamber music. I did a cappella, choir, you know, and then my own personal, you know, professional stuff. And you do that for so long, it's just fall on your knees. It's like, how many times can you? And then, oh, and not only that, I worked in customer service. And that's all they play. And they start playing it at like the beginning of November. So all you're hearing is 50 different, renditions of Jingle Bells or Silent Night, pop, country, rap, hip hop, trap. I've heard it all. And it's to the point where it is just so fake. But I will say something about this though. The people that need it the most, the people that need that Thanksgiving dinner, that Christmas invite, that one little, you know, Santa card, that song when they're crossing the street and they're down in the dumps and they cross the street and they hear, you know, Jingle Bell, and there are people and situations and moments in life where you just need that pickup. You need that kind of that communal feeling of the holiday spirit, right? But be very mindful and heartful of your spending during these times. You know, like it for me, I'm an experienced person. I am an experienced person. I would rather someone say, hey, Naja, let's go on a trip to Scotland for 2 weeks or a month. Okay, let's go. That to me, I'm like, wow. Or hey, let's go to West Africa because I know you speak French. Let's go to Cote d'Ivoire, Coast of Ivory. Let's go there for for the summer. Or hey, there's a wonderful cabin in Montana that I really want to take. I think a group of us it would be amazing. Let's go. I like memories. I like having experiences and sharing experiences with people and just investigating, you know, the adventures of life and what life has to offer in that way. And I also appreciate meals. You know, there's something so sacred about creating meals from scratch. It's like alchemizing in the kitchen, okay? Magic happening in the kitchen. From making a plain old peanut butter and jelly sandwich to making a 3, 4, 5 course meal and breaking bread with people that you love, they love you, and they want you to be there, you want to be there. There is nothing more beautiful than that. And you know, I just really cherish those moments, especially as an introvert extrovert person, right? I love my time alone. I love it very much. Really, I truly do. Which I'm gonna go more into that in another video, but thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, it's not all about Thanksgiving. It's just give thanks to things that you might kind of slip up and pass by or take it for granted, right? Because we tend to focus on things we don't want. We tend to focus on things that go wrong, and we don't pay attention to things that are going right, the things that are coming together, or things that have happily concluded, right? There are endings. So a lot of endings in our life are beneficial, and so are beginnings. So may this message find you well and whole. Thank you so much for tuning in, and again, happy Thanksgiving, and remember to give thanks. See ya.